Okay, it's recording now.
Okay. Cool.
So could you give me an overview of the thing you're working?
Yes.
Please.
So this is the overall issue. Here you can see the epic if you want to check some written information, but I'll give the overview. So basically what we want is through the using agent, we want to send information to GitLab, like alerts that will be like initial plan to display alerts here, but now we will display in another page, but it's like that's a GitLab plan. So the plan is to using an internal endpoint, agent will collect some information from Cilium and it will send it to GitLab. And so then it comes to this subtask, like it comes to this task that under the epic that I showed you. So we were thinking how we can do this thing. So one of the things that we need to do is to create an internal endpoint that agent will hit with the post request or like some kind of payload. And then we will use the existing service, or we will alter the services and just create a database entity to be displayed on GitLab. So Zamir is working on the part how to fetch that information using agent and trying to communicate with the application that's installed the Cilium on Kubernetes. And I'm trying to work on the part how we're gonna bring it to GitLab itself and how we're going to save it. That's essentially the task. Was this clear for you? Do you want me to talk more?
No, this is clear. Thank you. Yes. So has he started working on any implementation already?
So he's trying to like, you know, he's working hard to just figure out how he can get this information with agent. He's just trying, he's just experimenting, he's prototyping. That's why he might need the help, because, you know, he's one person trying to alter the code and there is like a whole team changing the agent, you know, drastically improving, you know, adding new things. You know, for us, it's just like we're trying to get something and put it on GitLab.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about this actually, and right now there is no story for someone else coming to the code base and adding stuff, and I would like to fix that so that it's actually doable, because currently everything changes. There is no internal API to extend it, and yeah, I'm trying to basically fix that so that you guys can contribute and help us to, you know, to let's deliver the feature together. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. We will help you. You will help us with requirements to make it better, basically, so that it works for you, for our customers.
Yeah.
So as I said, I was thinking about it, and I started an internal refactoring to provide basically an interface that you can implement to extend the agent. It's a small, it's a really small interface. I can actually show you what I have so far.
Sure.
1 second. Share screen, and this is the thing. Ignore that. So so this is the agent part, the part that is running in the cluster, and I've created this directory like today, and this is the API basically. So this is your plugin. We started at the beginning of the program, then we call it to perform defaulting and validation of configuration, and then when configuration changes in the repository, you get an updated version and adjust like whatever you need to adjust in the plugin. and that's just the name of the plugin. Then you also get this API, and in the factory that constructs your plugin, and this API is your window to the external world and to GitLab as well. So I'm thinking of adding a method here, like call GitLab, whatever, that doesn't matter how it's called. So response error and some sort of request, and then you can also provide the context here as well, obviously, for cancellation and stuff. And this is kind of it should allow you to create a call which will be a REST API call, provide you a way to set headers, provide you to stream the body and to receive the headers and receive the stream of the body. So you are calling this as if you are calling, if you are using an HTTP client, basically. Like, imagine that this is an HTTP client already connected to GitLab. You just need to use this one method to send and receive. And as part of the request, you also provide not the full URL, but just the subpath of the endpoint that you want to call. So like before, or API before internal Kubernetes, I don't know, agent plugins or something, then the name of your plugin, let's say security or Cilium, whatever, you know, some unique string, and then this subpath that you can provide in request. And that's the place where we will send your request using post or get or whatever method. You provide the method, you provide the headers, you provide the body, you provide the stream, like the stream of the body, not a byte array. Like the stream, you can do something more interesting. And response is the same, basically the status code, obviously, and the headers and the body stream, response body stream, and the error, if there was an error. So this is how it will, the whole like machinery inside will be abstracted from you. You can just call this method to talk to GitLab directly, and authentication is taken care of as well.
That's awesome. You know, I think one of the things that he was struggling is just to discover all this, you know, internals of the agent, and how it's going to be on the GitLab side. Can you mention, and how it's going to affect this issue that I'm just currently, you know, working on?
So I think it shouldn't affect you much. It's just, so if you are working on the endpoint, right?
Yes.
Then you just add this endpoint code in the internal Kubernetes something, and then there will be your endpoint, which does whatever it needs to do.
I just couldn't figure out one thing, but I didn't dig too much, but it needs 2 tokens to hit that endpoint. One is agent bearer token, one is says that I couldn't get the other token. I didn't dig into too much, but how can I get the other token?
So one token is to authenticate GitLab, and this is GitLab. This is the Kubernetes agent server. One token is the JWT token to authenticate that it's actually the GitLab server, GitLab Kubernetes server talking to GitLab. And another token, which is in the header, is the token to authenticate the client that has connected. Because our internal API is not actually really internal. It's exposed to the internet just like everything else. So we need to authenticate that it's actually us talking to the other part of us. It's the same as Workhorse and Gitali and Shell. They all do the same thing, which is what we do as well.
And is it documented? How can I generate that other token for my local development?
GDK does that for you already. If you enable the agent, it's called Kubernetes Agent in GDK. If you enable it, Well, actually, token is generated in any case, I think, because token is generated by GitLab or by GDK. Don't remember, but I'm certain it is there. Even today, if you open your GDK, I can probably do that. Let me do that and share the screen. It should be there already.
I'm just checking as well.
So it's in the root of GDK. No. It's in the GitLab directory.
Yes.
And it should be called cast secret or something.
So I know, okay, GitLab cast secret.
Yeah, okay, this is the token that GDK generates for you. Or okay. GitLab itself generates, I don't remember.
Okay, all right. Okay, and there is no guidance for, at the moment, for GitLab internal endpoint?
No, you are the first team who wants to do this stuff, so sorry.
Okay, pioneer. Okay, thank you.
But you also get to basically define where we are going because you are the first.
Yeah, we will be the first one to see the pain points.
As well, yes.
Yes. Okay, and okay, so the documentation that you pointed in the draft documentation that you want to merge is mostly about the proposal that you explained.
Yeah.
The changes on agent side, right?
Yes, the doc is about like the overall high-level architecture, and what I just showed you in the code is not in any documentation. It's just what I'm thinking, and well, it's already a merge request, but there is no this core GitLab method. It doesn't exist yet. But I've started working to refactor things to make it possible. Basically, I have refactored existing functionality to be this kind of plugin, and it was super easy because it fits really nicely. And I think as far as I understand, what you want to do will also fit really nicely into this
yes, it will.
API. And what I wanted to ask actually is how you're planning to get this. Oh, maybe it's you're not the right person to ask, but how to get this information from Cilium? Does it expose a REST endpoint, or does it publish the data somewhere where you can pick it up? How will it work?
Well, Zamir is the best person to talk, but I can just say that the Cilium, like what I know is Cilium is using something called Hubble. It's like their monitoring component of Cilium. And I think that exposes the information through Prometheus, But there is also, I just remember now, there is like a Hubble client, like the Hubble, like Cilium has also like their agents on the Kubernetes, And I remember he just went into one of the containers and he used the Hubble client and to show me the logs, So maybe this Hubble agent, like the Cilium agent, is exposing that information. So through them. So I think the Prometheus one was the old way of doing it. Now it's like through agent, one agent talking to another. That's my speculation, but not certain 100%.
Okay, so there are two ways to, well, I don't know which one is better, but there are two ways to do this. One is GitLab making a request, and then eventually this request reaches Hubble, and you fetch this information when the user, on demand, basically, when the user opens the page. Another way is what you are thinking about. Agent talks to Hubble and fetches this information and then pushes it to GitLab. GitLab stores it in the database, and then when the user opens the page, we fetch it from the database and show it to the user.
Yes.
And yeah, so I guess if Hubble doesn't have a persistent storage for this,
then
we probably want to copy the data, right, into our own database.
Oh yeah, they don't have. They don't have. They don't seem to have. Yeah.
Okay, then.
So yeah, and then in the future they want to relate this thing to other other like security policies, other entities on GitLab, or they want to assign a user or something. So that's not possible with just using, even they are persisting there. It's not like there will be disconnect between two data.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Yeah. That gives me the answer I was looking for.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I don't have any other questions. I'll upload this recording, and we can ask your teammates and my teammates to hopefully contribute.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it for Configure Team's help. And everybody looks so enthusiastic. It's awesome.
Cool. I'm glad to hear that. Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.